Give me just 1 second here. Okay, so we have FirstLaw versus Nomad. Nomad, very strong Protoss player. Was S rank when he was pretty active before. Has been on a bit of a hiatus. He had a bit of an injury, made it where he couldn't play for a long time, and he's just recently made his return. So this is, I guess, a little bit of like a kind of a coming back match. He has been playing some again lately. I've seen him playing a little bit. He has beat a few of our players since he came back, and now we got a match here against FirstLaw. FirstLaw is a pretty consistently low A rank Terran, always making new accounts, getting to A rank, and then making another one. Dude has like 15 A rank accounts, so he's very consistently A rank. Don't really know how high he could go if he kept playing. I don't know that he's really committed, or if he has, I just hadn't seen it. But he's a very aggressive player typically. He can play passive, but his comfort zone is definitely early aggression, timing attacks, that kind of thing. So we'll see how he wants to open up against Nomad. Nomad in the past has had a history of being a little bit greedy, from what I remember. But I say greedy. He'll cut some corners sometimes. But honestly, it's a good thing to do. Like you can't just be doing the same thing every single game. So, and it depends like how he wants to cut corners and what he wants to do with that. So we'll see what path he takes here in the beginning. Nothing like a 12 Nexus here to start off, which is fine. Radeon is a pretty good 12 Nexus map though, because of your cross spawn. The travel distance is absolutely insane. You basically can't do anything about it as Terran. Looks like FirstLaw. Okay, we're gonna scout right first. Wasn't sure if it was gonna be cross spawn scout or not. Since Nomad's not doing cross scout, I assume this is going to be a normal opener, probably like a 23 Nexus, no rangeless or anything like that, I'd imagine. And yeah. We'll just keep an eye on anything looking out of the norm here in the beginning. But so far looking pretty standard. I wasn't paying attention. I think by supply we did go 14 Zealot, it looks like. So we're going to get a single Zealot here, and then it'll be a Dragoon. Can be good if it's like close spawn, like 15 CC, or 13 CC, it's like an auto win, right? But I think Nomad does like to go for like early Zealots quite often. His early game micro can be really, really good. Nope, goon range starting right away. Banking up a little bit of gas, but that's not that big of a deal right now. We might go... Okay, we might actually be going rangeless. Yeah, so we are actually going to go rangeless CC here then. So we'll just go Zealot Goon, and then we're going to go Nexus. Sorry, I said CC. Can be a little bit scary, because when you do this, if you don't get damage with a Zealot, then you can be pretty vulnerable. But very quickly picking up this first Marine, getting another shot here as well. And like I said, there's the micro I was talking about from Nomad. Very good stutter step, kind of like predicting the movement. Getting 3 Marines here is absolutely huge. Prism Queen? Thanks for the follow, appreciate it. Prismatic Queen, I see. Yeah, Prismatic Queen. So yeah, getting 3 Marine kills very early, taking no losses whatsoever, just barely even taking whole damage here on the Zealot. You know, 40% is not too bad. Evade block actually missed as well, so this is a bit of a disaster opener here for FirstLaw. And now we're going to lose even more Marines. Looked like he might have been wanting to go for a pusher. This actually could have just been safety Marines, because you'll need a bunch of Marines and stuff to get down the ramp. But yeah, I mean, this is going as poorly as possible. Vulture gonna go down. Goon doesn't even need to kill SCVs at this point. It's just killed so much army now that Nomad can essentially do whatever he wants to do behind this. Barely not getting the repair in time, too. I think it was on the dot. We were 1 HP from surviving there. I guess the good news is, because it wasn't range, we didn't continue Goon production as well. So he's not going to die, but I mean, this CC is starting when the Nexus is almost done. Got our 1 Vulture out, going to start our bunker, going to go back up to 3 Marines. So we've had to make, what is it? We've lost 5 Marines, so we've made like 7, 8 Marines right now. Pretty painful start for FirstLaw. Supply looking still okay, but partly because I think we're continuing Vultures. We're not even making anything right now. And what's the follow-up going to be? We're floating a little over 400. Might be going for a hidden CC, actually. I don't hate it. So he knows he's pretty far behind. This is a comeback mechanic for sure that you can go for. We've pretty much cut all the corners we can. We stopped making units. Nomad was staying up in his base, and he's actually going for an early third itself, but this Vulture is in position going to be able to stop this probe. So there is potential comeback here. If Nomad doesn't realize there's something wrong and we start getting value out of this hidden CC, it's a good play from FirstLaw, recognizing how far behind he was. Because if Nomad went for this, like, pretty early, not like a super early third, it would have been like, what, 5:30-ish, maybe a little bit sooner. It is a little bit early compared to norm, but, yeah, not going to be able to do that because of that delay. It does look like our CC was misplaced, and we're going to move it over. Not going to do too much damage to us. The transfer was not quite on time anyway. Going to get some mines down, possibly deny this probe again. Just, okay, good. So we got the probe. Sucks that we lose the Vulture too, but at least we got a couple of the mines down. Observer is going to come out soon so we can clear those mines up, but we're delaying this third for a pretty long time, while our third is actually finishing up. And, I mean, FirstLaw just cutting all the corners that he can to get back into this, right? Going back out with his 2 Vultures, having nothing at home to protect himself. I actually really like it from FirstLaw. Pretty good comeback instincts, right? You have to just cut the corners and hope that your opponent doesn't do certain things. This is part of it sometimes. Second factory now on the way. Armory is done and upgrading. Citadel Forge. We're on 2 gate, going up to 4 after our third. Yeah, it's a little bit... It kind of sucks for Nomad a little bit because the opening was so good for him, but he didn't really get to take advantage of it. He was trying to with the early third. Yeah, FirstLaw, like I said, pretty intelligent. Getting in the way, killing 2 probes. Second gas coming down, getting our turrets now. Pretty late if it had been Reaver. But again, you know, we're cutting corners to make the comeback. Don't hate it. And Nomad looking like he might be looking to expand very early again. Which could be a little bit crazy. He doesn't know about the hidden third right now, so if this had been like kind of a timing push, might have been pretty risky if we're taking a really early fourth as well. Now, one thing that's actually going to work against Nomad a little bit is he knows the early game he did a lot of damage. And so he's going to fly in here and C4 factories. And it might not look that weird to him, to be honest. He could just be thinking that FirstLaw is pretty far behind, right, from the opening. And then he just has this much of a lead. So it doesn't really look like anything suspicious has happened by the time we got in for the scout. But good placement of the observer on the inside. Gonna be able to see like everything happening in his base. We got this here for spotting any move out from FirstLaw. Now the only thing that Nomad might could recognize is that there's just not enough units right now. Right? You could think, why is there only 4 units? Because he should know he didn't do that much damage, but it's pretty hard to tell in the game, like in the heat of the game for sure. Vulture is going to live, sees the goons on the ramp, so I can kind of assume this is going to be taken as an expansion, either already has or relatively soon. But FirstLaw does at least see that Nomad's not out on the map, right? I think we saw this move out here. Going up to 6 factory. Starport on the way. Is our +1 done? Should be pretty soon. We're going to scan and see basically everything we need to see. So we confirm Arbiter Tech. We see the gateway count is only at, what is this, 357 right now? So FirstLaw actually maybe feeling pretty good right now, and supply is actually starting to look pretty good for him. We're getting a pretty good bit of value out of this as well. So he's going to be working towards a third, and Nomad is going to be, well, Nomad is going to think this is his third, but he's working towards a fourth. So Nomad going to be playing to deny this, delaying his own fourth as well to try and play to deny this, right? Playing a little bit slow because you don't want to get too greedy against a 2-base Terran that could be pushing you. So yeah, this expansion is just completely throwing Nomad off of the state of the game right now. I'm gonna come in here and try to kill this eBay. Might be able to get it as well. Yeah, no tanks moving up. eBay is very close, decides to move towards the vultures and kill a few vultures instead. I think that's fine. And here FirstLaw scans and sees that the 4th base isn't even started yet. Excuse me. Which will make him feel pretty comfortable, I'd imagine. Is this a storm drop? I don't think it's a storm drop, right? Oh, it is a storm drop. My bad, I wasn't paying attention. So huge storm drop going down. I'm going to clear most of this SCV line. A little bit more got away than I thought, but still pretty bad. Pretty good damage for Nomad there. And with shuttles flying around and stuff, it does get a little more risky that this base is going to get caught, but it's actually positioned really well. Taking this base actually makes it very hard for Nomad to accidentally come across the base. Like, if he's going for storm drops and stuff, like, if there's a base down here, he could, like, queue it up from his base or something and easily find it. But, yeah, this position is actually about the best he could have gone for as well. And I'm wondering if Nomad is maybe starting to get a little bit suspicious. We're at 12 minutes now. Terran not really eagerly pushing for this third yet, which should be maybe ringing some alarm bells. This tank line's a little bit too far back. So we'll see how this trade goes. Zealots coming in. A lot of damage from the mines killing us, and the Zealots are going to get cleared out. Templar are going to come in, storm. Pretty decent storm getting some of the vultures in the tank here. Targeting the CC, we're actually going to kill his CC, so that's really, really good for Nomad, obviously. Not as good for Nomad as he thinks. Supply still looks okay. Nomad is only still on 3-base mining right now. FirstLaw going to scan and confirm that the situation is not that dire. Floating a little bit of money, but supply is going to even up once he spends. And I'd like to see him go back to throwing down this 4th base. I imagine that's what this SCV is for. We're going to do it on location here. Getting out on the map a little bit here with Vultures, going to try and lay mines. Look to find the transfer, but unfortunately the transfer is already here. Scans the main, confirming Arbiter, always a good thing to do. You do have to be careful, obviously, sometimes against Protoss. You can scan tech, get caught off guard. We have the drop ship coming up here as well, so that's actually what these Vultures are for. It's to, to get between the bases, lay down mines, cause a little bit of disruption while this drop could possibly get some damage. It's going to be a 2-tank drop. And so now these goons are going to have to dig through these mines. Place one of the tanks. Not quite right, but we're going to have the Vultures come up here and clean these 2 goons up. And we actually have these defensive cannons up here, which is a little bit odd, but it will actually protect these probes. What's up, Soviet? So I don't think he's going to take much probe damage here, but his mining is going to get delayed, and this is also distracting him while we get to take this on location CC. That honestly is like the biggest win. Hey, what's up, Ninja? CC actually getting pretty low. It's not gonna die, but it's... Wow, that actually got really close. It's a little bit of a shame. One more shot and that Nexus is gone. 5th base coming down. FirstLaw gonna throw down some scans, see some more gateways, scans the army. Playing a game, watching Twitch. Looks like the Vultures are gonna run into the Arbiter here, lose a few, Storm goes down. But 4th base finishing for FirstLaw. Man, if he had got this Nexus, this actually would have been pretty huge. I would favor his position a lot. Right now it's still fine, but with Arbiter Tech coming out, and we don't have our Arbiter defense up yet. This is my biggest concern. Recall defense, I mean. It is only a single Stargate, so this is not going to be like non-stop recall pressure, but yeah, this is going to fly into the main. Does spot the triple turret and go around that pretty well, and this could be pretty painful. This is potentially game-ending. It's not that big of a recall, but coming up this ramp, we did get one Templar out. It does only have a single Storm, but I mean, this disruption's really annoying. We're actually going for Ninja Spectator, Spectator, Ninja Base, true. Use a Storm on some SCVs, but the main thing about this is the disruption that it causes, right? So, like, we're killing a fair amount of workers, we're killing some army, we're making FirstLaw come back, we're making them uncomfortable. And while this is happening, we're taking our 5th base. Does need to be saturated though. Do we get supply blocks? We still only have a single Arbiter on the map, right? Is that what I'm seeing? Oh no, here it is. Okay. But 2-1 is done. Both Arbiters' armories spinning, so we're working on 3-2. So we will get to, most likely, a 3-2 max supply army here from Terran. The main thing I feel like FirstLaw should be focusing on, try and get our recall defense up, get our SCV count back up a little bit. We're rebuilding here. This isn't quite saturated very well. Natural, not super saturated as well either. This base still going pretty healthy, so that's nice. But the big thing is, you kind of want to be able to set up your recall defense so you can safely, comfortably move out, focus on your army, that kind of thing. But it's pretty tough. It's very time-consuming setting up your turrets, setting up your mines, getting everything, in order and stuff to, properly defend the recall. And you could end up doing that and pushing out, and then they just don't recall, right? You run into a bunch of stasis. I find the Arbiter play to be very tedious. Scans here, sees the 5th base. Gateway's now coming down for Nomad in the corner. And once the gateways start coming down in the corners, that's when it starts getting pretty hard for Terran, because you have to start making a decision on where you're going to push. And you have to worry about, the armies coming out of whichever direction. Okay, we get the EMP on this. Arbiter almost kill it as well, so we don't have to worry about any recall, counter, or stasis coming out of that Arbiter. Not the best storms either. Okay, this is a pretty good storm on the Vultures here. Something that players don't do often enough. Storming the Vultures when you have a bunch of Zealots is very, very strong. We get the flanking goons coming in. Big storm on the clump of tanks here. Next Arbiter coming in. Looks like Nomad's gonna finish this, or clean this up with the extra Zealots coming in. And we pushed out during 2-2. Didn't quite have our +3 attack. Okay, we're not quite actually gonna clean it up. My bad. That was the last volley there. Killed, all of the goons. But unfortunately, as Terran, when you're playing against Protoss, you kind of need bigger wins than this. You can't barely win the fight, because basically your push is done now. So I was going to say this, FirstLaw now needs to just go expansion and play defensive. Over pushing after a close trade is always bad for Terran, because the remax from Protoss will just always be faster and stronger. And you risk throwing your army away. Looks like FirstLaw disagrees with me though, still pushing out on the map. We'll see if he's right and I am wrong. Okay, we are going to turn on it. And look, there, our +3 just finished. So, a little bit of an anti-timing from FirstLaw. With that +3, he could have gone from barely winning the fight to winning the fight. Possibly very, very badly. Very easily, however you want to word it. Mine's getting some pretty decent value here. Scan come down to see how much army is here. Gonna go ahead and get our siege. And this is like nice skirmishing from FirstLaw right now while taking his extra base. Bit of a botched storm drop there on top of the units, trying to get the storm on the clump of tanks. We do finally find the Sin expansion now, but it's basically mined out. We've got over 1,000 minerals from every patch. So it's definitely done its job to get FirstLaw back in this game, so I can maybe run this down to our 6 o'clock base now. Which I imagine is where those are going. Oops. Scans here to see how much army Protoss is building. And meanwhile, we are pushing this base on the left. Pretty good positioning here for Terran. Actually, really good positioning. It's very hard for Protoss to attack into this. And yeah, a bunch of guns going down for free. Tank's going to start shelling away at this Nexus and the probes. And honestly, the position looks decent for FirstLaw, which is crazy considering how the beginning of this game went. Arbiter going to fly in here. Going to get the stasis off on a few of the Goliath before it dies. Is going to be able to clean this up. Has a decent bank as well running. But, I mean, FirstLaw with this extra 4th base coming down at 6 o'clock. Not really hurting like that badly for economy. Nomad, we just got this natural up here. So what is that total? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 total bases. Kind of 5-ish for FirstLaw. Didn't quite get to finish here. We'll call it 4 2/3, right? So, I mean, that's not too bad for Terran right now, as long as we can continue expanding, continue trading well. We haven't set up recall defense, which has been fine so far because we have been picking off the Arbiters and kind of killing off, or like making them use their energy, that kind of thing. Another skirmish going to come down here in the middle. Running into a bunch of goons. Going to try and run away here, maybe pick off a few tanks on the backside. And it's a little bit tough for FirstLaw right now. His army is, like, kind of big enough to hold this off, but he's got to be in position already set up correctly. It's a little bit tough right now with the Protoss coming down here, but he's actually going to turn around and try and fight the army here, maybe push it back first. But there's a lot of Dragoons and units coming in from Nomad. Bit of a mind drag here as well. Going to clean up all of these tanks. And, yeah, forcing the siege line to go further back, right? Cleaning up a bunch of the tanks, which makes it now where we can push up this ramp a lot easier. And this is very hard for Terran, right? So fighting into the Protoss army is extremely difficult. Obviously, if you're defending, right, you're down 50 supply, if you're set up defensively, it's very easy to stop attacks like this. But when Protoss, what he does is by pushing this army back, he forces Terran to move into his army, and that's where it gets much harder for Terran to control and take better trades. And yeah, I think with this maneuver, Nomad is going to be able to kind of close out the game from here. I don't see how FirstLaw recovers from this anymore. Losing this base, losing all the SCVs, losing a bunch of army. Nomad taking another base behind this as well. Going up to double Stargate Arbiter now. Yeah, and GG is called. Really good attempt from FirstLaw to come back. Like I said, I feel like he did everything you need to do to try and make a comeback, and there was definitely some potential there. I really like that play considering how bad the opening was for him.
Still, there's somebody's got to be there because we got like Mihu, Gypsy, Dandy, Terror. Like, who other than those guys is like
Nomad hosted up
better than him?
I don't know, but the gap between him and actual top foreigners, like Siki and Boneth and DeWalt, is fucking huge.
Are you talking about me?
But you named 3 the best players who.
Well, yeah, I know. But even like, I guarantee you, if Artosis played like a best of 9 with Julia, like it would probably be close.
Primal walked away.
I think
you're gonna
Julia
have
would
to remake the game.
Yeah,
I'm
just trying to ask what the map is.
You think Julia would smash him?
Yeah, I think so. Because Julia has such an annoying playstyle, and he creates such a chaotic game state that he would get lost in that, I think.
Well, I mean, that just supports my argument, I guess. But
out of all like the top Terrans, though, who is better than him though? Like, because we.
Okay, it's because they're shouting, man. They're passionate. Ugh. Moving on to game 2, boys. Nomad, the 1-0 lead. Alright, so we'll see if Nomad changes anything up. I know FirstLaw, he was saying in the chat that he, you know, he just acknowledges that he kind of messed up the early game micro and stuff, which is pretty much 100% what it was. Like how there's at least a couple bucks on the table being played for it. Yeah, we do a lot of this right now. We've been doing a lot of this last few weeks. Just people playing for 10 bucks at a time. Best of 3s, best of 5s. You know, it makes it more interesting, right? People really genuinely trying to win. Something on the line, yeah. It's good. Yeah, Nomad 1-0. Should actually get a scoreboard going since I want to be casting a lot of these. To kind of practice casting, get my voice in like good shape. I tend to lose my voice very quickly when I'm casting. Who? Who what? Nomad, gonna get the first scout after a Ford pylon and Ford gateway. This is already pretty brutal for FirstLaw. He's gonna go for a 10 gas. Okay. Decided not to. Not sure what happened there. Maybe a little bit of a mistake. We weren't queuing the SCV, so I definitely wanted to take the gas there. So a little bit of a fumble there from FirstLaw. Now we got this probe harassing us, and we just kind of abandoned our SCV. So this SCV is in a lot of trouble. It's only 2 hits right now. Gotta run through the mineral line. Good moving shot from Nomad. And unfortunately, we lose the SCV, got our gas stolen after cutting a probe to try and take the SCV to try and take the gas. So another pretty brutal start for FirstLaw here. Is gonna go crawl scout first. And yeah, we got the Ford Zealot coming as well. It's gonna be more than one Zealot. This is gonna be tough. It's gonna be a pain for FirstLaw. You hate to get Ford pylon first scouted on a 4-player map. Trying to quickly get our Ford bunker down. I actually don't hate that at all. Okay, yeah. I was gonna say, where are we going, dude? Yeah, Marine comes down and kills the probe. That's pretty good. I don't think this is going to be done in time, and even if it is, the Zealot can just run by. Oh, we actually lifted our barracks. I don't like that. We needed to keep pumping Marines. Yeah, the Zealot just runs past. Yeah, I don't like the lifting of the barracks. He wanted to maybe go for like a quicker wall and go for gasless, is what he was thinking, but... yeah, he saw the Ford gateway, so I'm really surprised he went for that. Because you know the Zealot's coming. Pretty decent drill. We are going to get the surround on this. Looks like one SCV is going to go down. Not that bad for FirstLaw, but it's not good either. Because, yeah, like I was saying, there's going to be more Zealots coming. Yeah, everything going poorly here for FirstLaw, I feel like, in the beginning. And yeah, because we moved our barracks, we don't have the SimCity to micro our Marines around and even misclicking and shooting our own SCV a little bit. Getting our gas delayed even further. Meanwhile, we do have the eBay block that's come down. We did actually not finish it as well. Second gateway coming down, so it's going to be a lot of pressure. Just a lot of goons coming down. Gas going to be very late. And we're still going to be dealing with this nightmare. And yeah, like I said, like because we moved our barracks going for this wall, we just don't have the micro hold that we need for our Marines here against the Zealots. One Marine is going to go down. Mining getting uninterrupted. FirstLaw does see them. Nomad doesn't have the expansion, at least in the meantime. Good pull back on the Zealot as well. Is going to be able to kill this SCV. Marine goes down. Just brutal. Brutal start for our Terran hero here. Can't kill the Ford Zealot. Looks like we're not checking the HP though, so he doesn't know. Yo, remap, thanks to the follow. Another grudge? No, not a grudge matchup. Ozzy out to take Artosis' job. Yeah, right. Alright, Zealots are cleaned up. Goon is out. Range on the way. It's going to be 2-gate Goon, basically. Tank's not going to be out for a while, so we're going to have to be repairing for a while. Nexus on the way. Yeah, it's another tough start for FirstLaw. Can't quite catch a break here in the early game, it seems. Gonna come out here, run into this Dragoon. Nomad at least wasn't watching, so the SCV will get to pull this Goon away for a while. But this will not be able to scout anything. I think we have 3 Marines in the bunker right now. If not, he can't really afford to make more Marines. We'll see if that comes back to bite him later. It could be 3, but I think it's just 2. Not sure. Does actually get up and get the scout off, by the way. I said this wasn't going to happen. Maybe a little bit of a kind of moving shot misses there from Nomad to allow that SCV to get there, because the Goon is slightly faster, so it does eventually chase it down. But at least sees the 2 gates done before the Nexus is done. So he should be going, I assume, for Siege mode first. Might be worried about... Yeah, I wasn't paying attention to resources. Hopefully this is Siege and Siege mode. Hang on a second, I gotta sneeze. Okay. Man, we barely got to the repair in time. We got that really, really close. So when repairing, you want the same number of SCVs repairing as there are goons attacking it. A little bit of extra repair just to make sure it, you know, some stuff can happen where you'll lose a little bit of ground. Looks like we made the extra Marine as well to refill this. But yeah, should be safe. But yeah, you want just as many SCVs repairing as goons attacking so that you don't over-repair too quickly. Because then if you over-repair and then you like get distracted, look away, then suddenly the goons will kill the bunker and yeah, the game's over. Is going to be Reaver behind this for Nomad. Gonna try and pounce on this tank. We do pull the SCVs pretty well, so we're gonna get the body block. No goon gonna go down, but kills the Zealot. 1 goon gets low. And he might not be able to keep going. He might try. This should be siege mode done, I assume. Gotta be a little bit careful. Pretty good pullback again. Goon goes down, save the tank. Pretty good. Reaver should be coming out pretty soon. We don't have any defensive turrets in our main right now. And it can be kind of hard to tell in this situation. Just you've been fighting so much, it's hard to tell where Nomad might be. You saw that the Nexus was pretty late, so there should be a little bit of concern. Because part of it is when you block, right? When you block the Nexus for a very long time, it kind of means they have to be going tech behind it. If they don't like quickly kill that eBay and take their Nexus, that money is going to something, right? So you do have to get a little bit concerned about the potential follow-up when you get the eBay block if you're delaying the Nexus for a very long time. So it's going to be Reaver coming across the map and a third base behind it for Nomad because he knows he's not in danger of being pushed anytime soon. And yeah, with no turret here, this could potentially just be game-ending damage. Even just not being able to mine is such a pain. First shot already gets 3 kills. This one looks like it's gonna dud. But yeah, just even interrupting the mining is so painful. Now we have to try and come back and defend. And yeah, we're just gonna go for the push, actually. And this actually has some potential. This is such a FirstLaw thing to do. I actually don't hate it, because like if we come back and defend this, it seems almost impossible. This push has a little bit of potential. There's only 2 gateways out right now. Mine's coming down, siege mode done. This is going to be a hard push for Nomad to deal with. Going to leave the Goon here and bring the Reaver back. Looks like the probes do at least get away. And we can clear this up, yeah. So he's going to send the units back and clear this up now. This is what I'm going to say. The only concern would be the drops here. Not getting this mine, just barely though, but the Reaver coming out, 2 tanks immediately down. And yeah, that was a huge Reaver shot. So this went from pretty scary to completely diffused. Really good hold from Nomad there. Yeah, really well played. And I think with that, it looks pretty doomed for FirstLaw. We'll see what he can pull off from here. But yeah, it's going to be hard to find much comeback potential. It's just been another tough opener from for FirstLaw here, yeah. Unfortunately, SimCity does trap our Reavers up in this corner, so we have to come back and get them every single time. 2 speed shuttles now, with 2 Reavers, some Zealots goons probably. We did get a couple turrets up, but the healthy shuttle's going to come in first. It is going to die, but it will be able to get the unload if we full commit. Wait, did we retarget? No way, right? I don't know if he retargeted or not, but that was pretty nice. Unfortunately, it was actually the Reavers leading the charge, which is not what I would have expected either. But either way, we got the shuttle that was full of units. But yeah, this is just too much of a pain. I mean, oh, the tank's not in range either. That has to be like a pixel off. First shot goes down. First Reaver goes down. Which is nice and all, but not sure how much it matters. This Reaver is going to get off. 3 SCVs. We're going to get a huge one. Another 3. Another 2. Yeah, it's pretty painful. Vulture goes down. We're going to have to try and move our tanks down here. Another Vulture going to go down. Yeah, we're just going to call GG, and I don't blame him at all. Bit of a nightmare game for FirstLaw. Pretty unlucky, honestly. Nomad's going to take the 2-0 lead. Okay, we'll go Deja Vu next. Nice, my new monitor is on the way. How exciting. I'm excited. Alright. Deja Vu, cross spawns. Am I gonna have 2 monitors? I guess I will, but I probably won't be using 2. I've never really felt like I needed to, but I will have 2. Honestly, didn't even think about that. Well, I like having my chat overlaid on top of the screen like this. It makes it very easier for me to read it while I play. So I wouldn't even change that. Alright. Let's just see if FirstLaw can not have a rough early game, right? It just feels like first game he made some micro mistakes for sure. Second game, honestly, was a lot of kind of tough luck. He did say that he canceled the SCV to try to make the 10 gas, and for some reason he just couldn't get it to make. That is a Terran problem for sure. And we actually aren't doing the SimCity, right? Unless maybe we'll make it the extra depot up here, but then it kind of starts eating into your space for factories, so... Yeah, a bit of an interesting SimCity here. Maybe the depot will go down here or something, not totally sure how he wants to do it. I'll skip talking a little bit here in the early game just to save my voice some. I have a notoriously wimpy voice. Which is why I'm going to start casting these money matches a bunch. I need to kind of train my voice to last a bit longer. Okay, so we are going to do the depot over here. I mean, I guess we still have all this space for factories, right? I mean, Deja Vu does have a pretty big base. I just kind of like having all of this for factory, but just a personal preference. Just whisper? Yeah, you want me to whisper cast? Yeah, I don't know about that. Alright, Zealot made for Nomad. SCV is going to scout the Zealot. Probably getting here to see that it's cross-spawned, so far, pretty decent opener this time for FirstLaw. Looks like he might be thinking... Oh, he doesn't know if that's the first Zealot or not. He's just a little bit worried, I guess. Yeah, a little bit unnecessary, but he just wants to be extra safe, so we are going to lose a little bit of our mining there. Is going to get the eBay block again as well. So, even though this is a little bit unnecessary, it is a definite better start for FirstLaw than the other two games. Vulture going to be on the way. It does mean that because we weren't mining with these, our minerals not going to quite be where we'd want it to get our Nexus on time. You don't think so? Nomad actually for getting a pylon here for a very long time, so he's going to be on 25 supply forever. Yeah, I think FirstLaw thought it was 2 Zealot. Because he pulled the SCVs and put them on the ramp, right? But yeah, Nexus is going to come down. It is going to be about the same as the CC, so at least that part of it's fine for FirstLaw. We are going to be supply blocked as well for a little bit, though. A little bit unoptimized from FirstLaw for sure, but I think it's just the last 2 games, the openers were so bad for me. Just kind of wanted to get out of the early game without being like horribly far behind, so I can understand just wanting to, yeah, get past that part. Did we? Wait. Okay, there's our Vulture. I was like, where's our Vulture? Okay, so yeah, our Vulture's out on the map. This is possibly a tank on the way. And then it should be mines, right? So we'll see mines coming down relatively soon. You could put mines behind this and try and maybe catch it on the retreat after pushing it back. So it is going to be a second Vulture. Actually, I'm going to pull this SCV off to repair. That kind of sucks. Our CC is going to be delayed even further. Nomad's transfer is going to be complete. We'll just have like, what, 1 or 2 probes probably run past, 3, 4. Yeah, that's maybe a little bit painful. It's not that big of a deal, but it does hurt some. And yeah, he did come back to lay the mines, but Nomad actually pulling back pretty much right in time. Gets the clear on the mines as well, so at least we've saved the Vulture. But yeah, unfortunately, that happening with the mines getting cleared, not getting the kills on the units. That is definitely not what you want, because you want to be spotting for this specifically. And yeah, because you don't have the mines in position or anything like that, the Vultures now come back home. Nomad does get to throw down this 3rd base before observers without having to clear mines or anything like that. It's tough, like, I was thinking the same thing as FirstLaw. If you can get behind the units with the mines and kill them off, then even if they take this 3rd, a lot of times you can just push it and kill it. but we basically got the worst of both worlds. We didn't get the block, and we didn't kill the units. Second gateway on the way. Gonna be third gateway. So I think we won't be going Reaver, it looks like this time. So no robotics, I imagine. No support bay. So we'll probably see... It should be... Are we gonna go 3... Okay, this is... I thought this was pro for a second. I was like, are we gonna go 3 gate 4 base? Because it's crazy. We'll see what tech he chooses, or if he wants to throw down more gateways. Not entirely sure what he's thinking yet. Typically, you see a couple more gateways, like 4 or 5 gateways, once your third base is down. So I don't know if we're going to see tech soon or just the more gateways here. But very defensive positioning for Nomad right now. He did take a pretty early third. Is playing a little bit blind. Doesn't know if there's a push coming or not. You know, this was like the 3 or 5 tank push. I guess if it was 5 tank, the observer would see in time at this point. But he didn't know, like, more Marines were being made or something like that. Could have been a tough position, but it's going to be okay for Nomad. Meanwhile, Armory working here for FirstLaw. Didn't have a brain then, sorry. I don't understand what you mean. Okay, extra gateways coming down, Citadel done, Archives coming down. No Stargate though, so doesn't look like it's going to be very quick Arbiter. Going up to 5 fact is FirstLaw, clear out the eggs. So just clearing out the eggs just makes it where your units aren't going to get clumped as easily trying to get out of the base. It's just, you know, smoother movement of your army. Nomad, gonna play him with this observer. Just gonna park here at the front. Okay, we're gonna move in. We'll just kind of check the tank count here a little bit. We spotted this turret. Actually gonna be able to fly in, get full scouting information, which is great for Nomad. Be able to see the factory count, see the armory. And with this, he can now... Oh, sorry about that. Okay. But yeah, anyway, with that, Nomad gonna get onto the high ground here with the units. It's not a whole lot of goons. We're only at 5 goons right now. This push is gonna come out from FirstLaw. Is gonna come out in 9 minutes, still with a pretty decent army here, despite the opening not being like super optimized. And we do have Arbiter Tech on the way and Templar out right now. And there's not a whole lot of units right now for Nomad, so if FirstLaw gets across the map quickly enough, Mike could actually catch Nomad here. But yeah, the Arbiter's pretty far away, so we at least got a long time before Arbiter. We don't have any Academy right now, though. And if Nomad's paying attention, he can actually spot that with this Observer. No comsats, so if he just makes a few DTs, he can easily deflect this. And even if you weren't getting hit with DT here, you still want the comsats building up energy for the Arbiter, but yeah, we're just kind of cutting all the corners to try and get this push out. I mean, it is a strong push. Pretty decent positioning right now. We're going to get our mines set up and start pushing towards this third base. Nomad going to come in here with the army. Not very many mines set up, but that is a big mine hit on this group of zealots. But yeah, these storms are huge. We're going to clear up a bunch of these tanks. Extra reinforcements coming in here for Nomad. I think he's just barely going to be able to push this back. But, I mean, barely pushing this back is more than enough for Nomad. With the Arbiter coming out and no comsats. Well, with the extra vultures coming in, he's going to be able to kind of finish out the Zerg arm or the Protoss army here, but we've lost all of our tanks now, so the push is basically dead. We have one tank to our name right now, and we cannot push with that. So Vulture's going to kind of run around, maybe lay some mines, look for some harassment, but this is full walled on both sides. Still no academy, no third base. Looks like FirstLaw is just going to rebuild his army and try again soon. But I mean, Nomad is only on 3-base eco right now, so it's not that bad of a situation for FirstLaw. And here he's going to confirm that there is no base here. Going to check top right, see if there's anything up there. Are we moving down here for a third? Okay, I was going to say that's kind of crazy. This is definitely the third we want to be taking. Let's actually get in with his Vulture and spot the Nexus timing. FirstLaw, throwing down a starport. Okay, we're getting our comm sets now, so he is going to go up to a third base, but playing from here is going to be pretty tough. I will say this is, in my opinion, a pretty good anti-arbiter map, because your natural covers like this chunk of your main, and then this area covers your main from here, so your army would be sitting out here, and you typically set it up with turrets and things like that. So like kind of by default, you are pretty decently protected by recalls. Obviously, one of the things about this map that is difficult is getting up this ramp, because you just have this huge arc and you're going uphill, right? Goon's gonna catch some of these vultures running around. Supply looking pretty good for Nomad. This vulture being very, very annoying. This is an anti... No, okay, it's not an anti-gun. So yeah, the guns can walk in and just clear this up. This is our first Arbiter. Looks like our first Arbiter is finished. Double Forge working. Upgrades for FirstLaw. It's going to be 1-1, Sci-Fi on the way, second Armory on the way. Yeah, it's going to be very, very difficult for FirstLaw to try and macro his way out of this game. I personally don't really see much comeback potential here again. Here comes a shuttle, probably for some storm drop, see if there's any reaction. Yeah, no reaction from FirstLaw. Losing a bunch of SCVs, and it's just salt in the wound. We're already struggling. But losing a bunch of SCVs, being forced off the mineral line. I mean, supply, Nomad's up 50, 60 supply almost. He could possibly go for a bust, but he might just wait for FirstLaw to try and come out and just keep harassing in the meantime. You know, we had the shuttle drop kind of while we're waiting for our Arbiter, which is just gone. I have no idea where it's at. Oh, here it is, all the way here in the corner. All right, so going to be flying towards the natural. Going to be looking for a recall here. FirstLaw throws down a couple scans, make sure there's no bases here. Scan for army here, saw that there was... actually, no, I don't know where the other scan was. And we're actually going to see the Arbiter going towards us, but it's going to turn and fall the shuttle with this dropship. Is he going to recall on top of this? Or it was just an accident? A little bit of an awkward situation. Oh, I think we did the recall bug. I've done this so many times before. So we did actually try to recall. It's when you recall and then you click the Arbiter to move right away. It spends the energy but doesn't do the recall. I've done this multiple times now. So a little bit annoying for Nomad. I think he's actually going to lose this base because of it. I don't think it matters in the long run, but yeah, that is very, very annoying for him. All these vultures are going to go down. Yeah, just an annoying situation for Nomad, but like I said, it's not really the end of the world. There's not much going for FirstLaw behind this. Supplies is too low. Gonna be running out of our main pretty soon. I mean, we do have 2-2 on the way. But I can't really, like, caster hype this. I don't think there's any way out of this. Scans the middle, sees a bunch of the army here. Is going to use that opportunity, seeing that the army's a little bit behind, to try and get on top of the ramp a little bit. Does make defending a little bit easier, but we don't really have the, like, SimCity and good arc here. And here comes Nomad, the battering ram of Protoss. Just running in here, crushing everything. Zealot's going to run through. Arbiter almost dives to the turrets. Got some storms if we want to throw that down, but not even necessary. But yeah, all this is going to get pushed back, cleaned up. And yeah, there's just nothing behind this for FirstLaw anymore. And Nomad going to take the 3-0. What a beast. Okay. Am I playing Brood War for a living now? I earned 20 from Moon yesterday too. yeah, man. We're playing for money all the time now. Alright, I'm gonna unmute and hop in here and chat with the boys.
Yeah.
Hello?
Oh, okay. I have an idea. Like gamer socks, like really high quality, breathable, like wool socks that will like wick sweat away, but also keep your feet cool while you're gaming.
What are we talking about?
A toilet under, so you don't have to get up to stop gaming.
I was actually just gonna say, what about gamer diapers? Yeah.
Okay.
Gamer diaper. If you didn't think the ladies liked you, we just want to put that exclamation point on there.
Okay. I think we're done for now. That is a series. I'm gonna like randomly do these probably like when we have these show matches. I'll probably just stream them on and off, cast them, that kind of thing. Practice my casting. Sometimes I'll play in them as well. It'll just be little short streams that pop up every now and then. They kind of throw them together randomly, and they always ask me to cast it. So when that happens, I'll just throw the stream on, record them, upload them if we care. Maybe do like a playlist of money matches or something. But I'm gonna head out, and I'll be back on later for sure. Gonna play a little bit tonight. And yeah, I'll see you guys then. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the cast, and I will see you guys later.